Mr. Chair, I'll start with thank you to you, Ms. Flint, and to your officials, and we've done some work in my constituency recently, and I just want to say a very public thank you to Mr. Ridge and to the work that's happened in making sure it. Some of the projects we do are massive billion-dollar projects, and some of them are small but have an impact in community. I want you just to know that it's very much appreciated, and thank you for your responsiveness. Thank you to the Auditor General. And also a thank you to Research Services for the work you do to help us prepare for this as we get back into the Public Accounts Committee. I'd like to start then with the follow-up audit 2018, which to the 2017 audit, talking specifically about the capital planning process. What I'm struck by is that the themes in this audit are consistent with themes that go back a decade or more around project prioritization and planning, information exchange within and between ministries, around the planning around deferred maintenance and life cycle management. So, and these are themes that I understand have been discussed at this committee at least 4 times already. What I'm curious about is, in your opinion, what is preventing progress on these recommendations?
So first of all, thank you, and we do try and provide good customer service to everyone who has issues in their constituency. So, and I probably owe Andy a coffee now, but that's okay.
I probably do too.
Yeah. So I'll speak to the first recommendation. So one of the recommendations was with respect to education and infrastructure school building program. And this is an audit. You spoke to previous audits. This is an audit from 2016. So one of the things that I alluded to was we continue to work in conjunction with education to address outstanding recommendations from the school building program audit. The work that we've completed to date, we've formalized roles and responsibilities between education and infrastructure with what we call a RACI document. We're transferring the delivery portion of the school building program from education to infrastructure. We've developed new centralized reporting and budget tracking systems for all school projects, and the development of an ongoing school capital manual and formalization of new internal processes and procedures to assist in managing and tracking capital projects. As well, we've moved the budget over into infrastructure to allow for some of that to happen. So I think by aligning roles and responsibilities between the different departments, we're actually going to have a greater success in terms of moving forward.
Okay. I apologize, I only have 4.5 minutes, so I'm going to just dive quickly into that. I guess talking then about the back and forth that seems to have happened. So my understanding is that the health infrastructure budget has lived with infrastructure for some time, but education perhaps has bounced back and forth. And as we go back over the years, how much impact has that had in terms of moving back and forth, just that, I guess, the friction of those changes? And is there anything that you can learn from that you could standardize or make common within and between ministries to reduce some of that friction and improve the timeliness of decision making and consistency and some of the things that the Auditor General has identified?
Sure. I think one of the things that does reduce friction is the RACI document that I spoke to, because it really does outline roles and responsibilities and accountabilities for each department, and particularly between ourselves and education. So I think that by having a RACI document in place really does reduce the overall friction between departments, because it spells out exactly the accountabilities that each department does have.
Okay, and I'll ask briefly, I probably won't have time to get a full answer, so perhaps we can come back to this. Do you have common IT systems or project management systems across between infrastructure, education, health? Do those systems A, exist, and B, are they helpful, or if they're not aligned, is that a barrier?
Yeah, so one of the things that we are doing currently within the Department of Infrastructure is making sure that we have standardized project delivery systems in place, and that's between our health group, our learning facilities group, and our government facilities group. We are also expect that the ERP, and I can never remember what that stands for, the new system that's being rolled out by government will also assist in terms of standardizing some of the processes that the department has.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clark.